Right, hello. Today we're doing a bit of a double bill because this first game I think is a short-ish one. And then we are going to move on to a point and click one. Just, you know, because I was in two minds about what to stream, so there we go. Anyway, GENIE Reprise came out on Valentine's Day this year, 14th of February, 2024. It's developed by Tongguk Bodo. I probably mangled that completely. And East Asia Soft, and published by East Asia Soft. It is well, it's tagged as an adventure game. I've heard it described as a walking simulator, but it looks really cool. It's available only on Xbox and PlayStation. It's £5.79 or $6.99. We get to unlock mysteries scattered through time in a surreal first-person fantasy adventure. We take the role of Lula and explore a vibrant fantasy world as she journeys to discover the meaning of the genie and fulfill her destiny. GENIE Reprise is an atmospheric fantasy adventure told through fully voiced poetry and 3D first-person exploration. Immerse yourself in mystical towns and the surrounding countryside as you collect crystal shards to reveal the next part of the poem that adds to the genie's lore, scattered across 15 chapters that span multiple eras and transform the environment around you. Meet intriguing and enigmatic characters and discover how their stories are intertwined as you seek a final truth. There was also a game called GENIE. So I don't know if this is like a re-thingamajiggy? Rebrand? Or just coincidence. But it doesn't mention anything about a prequel or this being a sequel. So, yeah. We'll play an hour, see how it goes, and then move on to the second game. Hopefully I set this up correctly. Ooh, and I forgot to mute the tab, so I got to hear myself asking myself if I set this up correctly. That's always funny. Okie dokes, well at least it has the right game, except I year in wrong. Hang on 2 seconds. Gotta love it when I edit a previous thing and forget that I'd streamed some games from last year. This one came out this year. To fix that. Good thing I noticed that. That would have annoyed me. So, yeah. Well, I'll put the right thumb screen thing on it. But, it's going to be incorrect at the very beginning of the video. Pah! Silly me. Anyway, this one's on my RTDL Unreal Engine. See? It's got an accent in it. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Oh yeah, this one has seizure warning. It's got some flashy lights. So, yeah. Some white lights. Ooh, it's pretty. Do you like fantasy settings where, as opposed to sci-fi setting ones? Because they always tend to be a lot more colourful. Right. Me. Okay. Ooh. Options. Gameplay. Oh, I'll leave the visual clues on and the crosshair. I'll leave those on as is. Vibration on, invert off. Display, brightness. No, that's fine. And credits, okay. New game. Yes, well, I haven't started an existing game to continue, so... Yes, I'm sure. It looks very,
Once
very...
upon a time, there was a story told, a memory of our people, so often of old, with a start so promising, we often recall, but sadly the ending, no guarantee of all. Thinking of happily ever after, a myth or just a dream? That life will bring us joy and love, or so it would seem, but no matter the ending, our memories will stay. So cherish the stories, and so let us pray.
It's a good thing that read that out, because that font was a
Memory
little hard to
is a
distinguish.
broken mirror, shattered fragments of past life, reflecting the moments that give each of us strife. Bright gleams of light fading away soon, blurring the lines of reality and dreams that we swoon. The harder we try to focus and to recall, the more the memories slip away and begin to fall. Pieces of life that make us who we are. Beautiful shards of memories, dreams and far.
I am hoping this is not like an airy Murder Diaries type game where you have to fly around collecting the crystals. I hope it's a walking, collecting crystals. Not good for the flying. Sunrose, part 1. Oh good, it's walking. Excellent, and we already have a bloop. We are engaged. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, this is so pretty. Look at this. Did we collect a crystal? Yeah. That was like, oh, and there's froggies. The turning is a wee bit fast, so we'll have to be careful we don't give ourselves nausea. Oh, this is giving me Dreamfall chapters vibes, like the fantasy setting, Dragon Age. Ooh, the lights are quite bright. Ah, that's what we're doing. Okay, cool. So we're collecting parts to make crystals. This is very pretty. Graphically gorgeous. Yes, I'm liking the giant spears of light saying there are crystals over here, so if I get distracted by looking at the very, 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 very pretty oh, I can't climb that. Very sad. Very pretty area, I don't get lost because woohoo. I think I could probably go around that way. Aha, there we go, yes. Just seeing how we're supposed to go and get those. Can't jump. It's very much you're moving and that's it. But that's okay. It is that kind of game where you're exploring. Yes. I feel like the intensity of the lights is quite intense. Almost over intense, the torchlight. Considering it's not dark. Ah. There's no run either, and I've gone too far over to be over here. I believe it's set in this area. Ah. Am I transported to, or do I have to go find that? I have to go find it. Excellent. Ah, it has an indicator. It's all good. Thank you, game. It's very easy to get distracted when it's so pretty around here. Ooh, bright. Very bright. Are we supposed to be looking at that? Yeah, apparently we are. Oh wow, it's so bright, it's washing me out. So it looks like I'm chroma fading.
Of an unknown wizard, quite strange. He spoke in a language I'd never heard before, a single word that changed. He said that I had been chosen, and in the same breath cursed. He said, "Lula, you must retrieve the genie of your people. That is your task first." Because of my resilience and sight, I'd been blessed. The wizard said, "Go now. You must pass the test."
Okay. Oops. I can't actually move. X. Hold down X advanced me there, because I was like, I seem to have, like, gotten stuck. It was not. It just was not clear that I was supposed to advance. Right, so I need to find one of those bright flashy lights and just stare at it. And then chroma fade out.
A wizard who wants the genie for own is
Dragon!
making his way up the mountain alone. For if he obtains it, our fate is sealed. We'll never again choose our own path to yield. So we must beat him and learn the genie's use, lest we be further cursed and no longer choose.
Oh, so something that takes away free will. That's not good. I don't know if you're supposed to be holding X, but it didn't seem like there was anything else I could do. Except pause. So, here we go. Alright, stare at the bright. Yeah, I'm not sure this was a great use of the bright light. It is very bright.
I felt a call to go. I had to answer it. So I set off. I could not linger a bit. Though the path may be long and the journey hard, I had no fear, for I knew I'd go far. Though I may walk alone, I knew I was not, for my guide unseen was never forgot. I knew I had a mission, a task I must do, and I knew it was my own, only I could pull through. The sun rose slowly, and the sky did light. I had to embark on a journey of might. To the mountain of fire I had to go, to complete this task that only so.
Where's the beacon? Beacon, it's over there. Beacon, very useful. Don't know how you're supposed to find around without these beacons. Oh, I think it says turn and look at the light, but it's underneath where I am, and I only noticed it that one time. I'll have a better look
once
next
gave
time.
us choice and free will, but now no path is ours to fill. The shamans say that I'm a weaver and a walker. Only I have that right to squawk her. We have hunters and fishers, collectors and keepers. In this village we are all equal seekers. But I have been blessed with a special fate. The shamans have granted me a different path to take.
It's intriguing. I'm curious to see where the story is going. Where is my beacon? Excuse me. Yes, there is actually a dragon there, or dragon bones at least. Okay, there's an interesting wibbling effect on those flowers. Okay, so find and look at the light. Obviously I'll be turning around until it starts to blind me. Ah, it's down there.
Weavers of words, of stories untold, the keepers of tales that must be retold. Poets and singers, their songs will resound, the warp and woof of our history found. Walkers of paths, the wanderers and dreamers, asking of questions, no fear of the unknown, searching for answers and seeking the light, to brighten the corners of our minds so bright. No one has ever come back to the village. No one has ever looked back again. The weavers and walkers have gone far away. The stories and answers they'll never betray.
Dishwasher's making ever so funny noises. Part 2, Mother. Oh, I imagine we'll get probably through about half of this in an hour. It should be sufficient for Ooh, this one has an interaction. Is that a raven? Yeah. Ooh. Sigh. Nice. Jules? Okay, we're in a graveyard. That is vaguely creepy. I'll give it that. It's very beautiful, but very creepy. I think the lighting could have been toned down a tad. And perhaps some of the weird, nauseating screen effects. Excuse me, but let's see where this takes us. Ooh.
I remember my mother. I recall her sweet face. Though she had to leave me without even a trace, she was determined to find a way to break the spell. The genie's return was the only thing that could help. She was certain she was a weaver, not a walker that day, but the shamans had spoken and she had no say. So she left me in sorrow, her dreams unfulfilled. And I have dreamt of her ever since, and the village she left still.
It's quite a sad story. Not sure what exactly the genie is as yet, but there is certainly some amount of free will involved, loss of free will involved.
The day she left was cold and wet. The tall grasses had not been met. In a black dress and hair of night, she waded out into the light. She gazed above into the sky. The wind made her look like a patch of summer high. Her arms were clutched to her chest. I felt her sorrow and ran with zest.
Everyone has like a fate preordained. They can't change that, but Lulu, or whatever the name of the protagonist is.
As I
Something like
watched
that.
her go, I thought of tears and the words that we would never share, of a life that could have been, but was never meant to be there. The rain kept falling all around, but I was standing still in time, for I knew in my heart the longest goodbye was mine.
Oh, and in case anyone was wondering, finger doesn't hurt anymore, which is really nice. I woke up this morning and it wasn't hurting, and I was like, I still don't know what I did to it, but that was from like Tuesday. That was like 4 days of hurting. I'm just happy it isn't hurting anymore. I do like the mist. That is a very cool effect.
I close my eyes and see a sorrowful sight, her shattered soul in the candlelight. My father's heart deeply wounded and sore, his daughter's tears he can't ignore. I feel the urge to capture this scene through a painting of colour and sheen, but all I can do is run in the rain, feeling the drops like glass on my skin. I run to the shoreline and find my reprieve, where the sand, water and sky all weave a tapestry of solace and peace, where I can finally find my release. For 10 long winters I've delved in my mind. Is life just a long goodbye? A bright spark of imperfection in a sea of nothing sublime? For this reason the shamans called her a walker, not a weaver of fate, for she had no answers, only questions, a journey of faith to take. A journey to find the genie, to fill her heart's cracked vessel, a path of mystery and wonder, an answer she must unravel.
Wow, there's a giant angel. Is this inside the church or beside the church? Oh, inside.
The genie I'm seeking seems so far away, a secret so deep I might never find the way. What power could it hold? What difference could it make? Could it harbour the freedom it seems I must take? I worry I'm wrong, I worry I'm lost, but I'll keep on searching no matter the cost. The answer's so close yet so far away. I'm searching for the genie, here I will stay.
Dwarf Festival. Ooh. Like that. Yeah, very fantastical. Oh, I'm getting Wheel of Time vibes. Whoops, let's not fall down the cliff. Ooh, see? Yeah, I'm getting very much like Wheel of Time vibes. Robert Jordan. Terry Goodkin maybe as well. Sword of Truth. Like it. Oh, and a bit mist. Mist and riven. I think we could have benefited from a very simple jump button. Perhaps a little bit smoother on the gliders. Right, what are we done? Okay, cool. It's not actually a very big area, so... The frogs are fascinating. Yeah, very much Wheel of Time with the giant statues. Because that was a whole thing in Wheel of Time, the giant statues.
Rafiso and I were two of a kind. Our friendship was strong and our blissful love blind. We'd meet in the fields where the sky was so blue and run until dusk with no shoes on view. We'd return home for supper with feet quite a mess, and we knew that our friendship would stand the test. As we grew, our affections grew ever more strong. Our love for each other would last oh so long. We'd found our true halves, our one and only soul, the kind of love that would never grow old.
Hey, Eva!
As I sat there with Rafiso by my side, the sun slowly set and the summertime tide, I felt a sadness and a longing in his eyes that made my heart ache and my spirit cry. He held my hand and we watched the light. His face was solemn, his words so slight. He looked at me and kissed me on my head and said, "I have to go," my heart filled with dread. My heart was overwhelmed with sorrow. As he said goodbye and made his way, I asked if he knew he'd be alone tomorrow. He said it was the only life he could not delay. Our friendship has meant so much to me, but he knew he must go and make his own way. The fear of emptiness was greater than his fear of being alone. So he said goodbye, and I had nothing more to say.
They could have put them in a nice line. That one's all the way back across the thing.
The soft caress of your words and deeds, naught can compare to your silence and lack of being. The jovial tones that filled the air as we lay upon the mossy ground, a flower placed in my hair. You admired your handiwork so fair, your platitudes so sweet, yet knowing that my love you'd never meet. Forever, you said, your breath upon my cheek, lying there in a bed of blooms so meek.
Scallops. Helpful. There are 15 chapters. Ooh. This is quite dim. A dim cave with limestone. The melted rock. I really am not a big fan of limestone, I have to say, because of the melty. Oh, that is the small. This is a small area. Melty rock always freaks me out. I know why it happens. It's because it's soft and the water has different thingies in it. All right, where's my light? Ah, not that.
'Twas a time of ancient lore, when we huddled by the fire, in animal skins like one great choir, of a millennial conversation to each a true desire. We sipped leaf wine and made a light, till fire opals gave us sight, salamanders writhing in the blaze. As fire snakes lazy ribbons gaze, a dream within a dream, a sight so grand, more beautiful than death or night's own command.
And they look wet and it's not wet.
'Twas something in our past so deep, though knowledge we had tried to keep, the secrets etched on ancient walls, spoken down the age's halls. We'd grown complacent, blind and numb, the truth obscured, no longer to come. Or maybe nothing, just a dream of minds that thought they were supreme. The drawings on the cave walls were no more than a child's doodles, nothing to explore. I dreamed I was entombed, and mother said with a sigh, "The vultures can't pick you, my sweetest of pies. My love for you is so deep, I won't leave you in this heap. I'm here to clean the spaces of gold rings and bare knuckles. Fear not the worms, for in death we remain vermivorous. Fear not your languid spine, I'm here to make us both entwine. We'll be scarabs entwined in this tomb, side by side, till the end of time."
Well, that's disturbing. Oh, 5. Fisher. Ooh. Pretty. Oh, I like. Oh, some lens flare there. Oh, I do love a good water scene. That's a good water scene. Soothes my soul, does the water. Swirling ring. and snow. Maybe on the other side. Interesting.
The fisher lives a quiet life, away from village strife. On the shore of the sea he does dwell, in a simple hut he built himself. His skin is brown from the sun, his clothes are nearly done. His hair and beard are long and unkempt, as if never cut or combed once in his life. He spends his days fishing away, casting his line in the bay. He's a man of solitude and peace, living in nature's embrace. The fisher never took a wife and had no kids. No one knew from whence he'd come. The villagers thought him quite eccentric, for he'd never eat the fish he'd caught, but trade them for the simple goods of life, no matter the weather, day or night. I once saw him pick a grasshopper from a reed. He held it gently in his hand like a precious seed, dabbed it with a bit of honey wild he'd gathered, and ate it whole, not a single thing he'd squandered. The fisher had a plan that he would not depart, to catch each fish individually by its own art. My father said to him, "Take a basket of this sort, to travel with the fish and keep them in a single retort." But the fisher stayed his course and said with a smile, "I must carry my catch altogether, mile by mile." My father then offered a net for his catch to be strong, but the fisher would not take it. He said nothing was wrong. The fisher had a purpose that he would not alter. He collected his fish, each one unique and a falter. I sat and watched the fisher quite still, his eyes on the skies without a thrill. He asked me why I had no shoes. I asked him why he had no too. He said he had no need to wear. I thought it odd, I must be fair, but something told me he was wise, for shoes or not, he'd seen the skies.
How's everyone doing today anyway? It's kind of
A
hypnotic,
hermit
this game.
half mad so they say, who runs with wild abandon each day. Though his feet are sore and his soles are bare, he does not wish for shoes to wear. He likes to feel the earth beneath, to feel each moment in life to breathe. Though it's hard and rough, it's something dear, for that is why he chooses to go without shoes here. Though the world may say I'm mad for caring more than I have had, I say it's truer madness still to collect more than we need to fill the void of life's emptiness, for in the end it's us who are possessed. Riddle me this of what I speak, a tale of a king and a fish so meek. The king with his wealth had no peace of mind, the fish without it could still be kind. The moral of this I'm sure you can see, it's not the things that you possess that set you free. A king who hoarded all he saw was master of the things he'd store. He gathered riches, yet his need increasingly he'd want for more. His every whim was met, though his kingdom sadly fell. The more he gained, the more he'd jealously hoard. His wife and son neglected, he'd pile up his wealth in a chamber sealed away by a key. A son so young and filled with glee found the key to set him free from the chamber of his dad. The door he opened, delighted and glad.
Wow, this one's quite long. I just feel like I'm going round in a giant circle. Compared to the other ones. It's fine. It's just odd that you don't ever go into the centre of the town on the island. Which is fine, because I'm sure I get lost in there.
The king ran to the treasure room with a fearful crash, but sadly his son lay beneath the gold in a deadly mash. He dug with might and main, but his efforts were in vain, for his only son was now lost, and his love too late he did gain. He had collected things of wealth, but the only thing that mattered was gone. And the king, in grief and sorrow, wept for what he had done. The king once had riches, a fortune to behold, but now he's grown wise and his treasures he sold. He gave away all that was his to the poor, and he set out alone to live without more. Was this mad fisher once a king? I found it hard to believe, but he said, "Lula, wisdom comes at a cost, and it's not easy to retrieve." He had a saying to share, "It's wisdom the owl does bring. The wings of knowledge only stretch at twilight's ring." Rain, rain came down today, a lesson to learn. That much I say, the time to change I can't deny, but only if I choose to try. Hope is seen in the darkest skies, a chance to change our destiny lies. A rumble of thunder, a sudden surprise, reminds me of hope and its sweet surprise. The fisher looked up at the sky with a smile. His wild eyes spoke wisdom, and I saw it too. He said, "Lula, seek the middle way between all and nothing, and you'll find it today. It's a secret place deep in your mind, where the genie you'll find if you search and you're kind. The greatest secret of all is that there's no big mystery. When you find the genie, you'll even know the gods' history."
It's an odd. It's either just a random piece of paper or weirdly one square of terrain is missing.
A madman spoke of a genie. It made no sense to me, that there was a secret of no secret at all, but I listened to his call. He said he'd been told by a wizard in a dream to search for a genie, or so it did seem. Was it a dream or was it real? I can no longer tell. Are we all in a dream? Is a godly being real? I'm starting to feel confused beyond belief. I can only hope the genie is true, and the madman's words will ring true.
Part 6. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave that there. But it's and there's a bunny. That one was quite a long part, so that's like a third of the story. This is GENIE Reprise. 15 chapters. We're going to leave this here. Want to find out what happens? You shall have to purchase the game yourself. So, we're just going to flip to the end screen temporarily. So we can switch games, and then we will probably also have a short break and then be back. So, not the end of the stream, just the end of this part. Thanks for watching. Thanks to ID at Xbox for the code for this game. I forgot to mention that at the beginning because I was distracted by the fact that I had the wrong date on it. So yeah, I'm just going to stop this part of the stream and go into a break, and I shall be back with the next game in a